Guys, welcome to today's video. We're doing another foundation, another 3-day wear test. This time Guerlain Terracotta Le Teint Healthy Glow. I'm wearing it right now. This is the 3rd day, and this is a finger application. I'm going to apply brush, I'm going to apply beauty blender, and I'm going to apply with fingers 3 different sunscreens, and I mention each one and we'll link each one down below, and wear test. Let's take a look at what they're saying. They're saying it's great for uneven skin texture and for dry, normal, or combo skin, and that it has a radiant matte finish. Of course, your finish depends on how you start, but I feel like I got that today. I didn't powder today. Now it's time for the glasses. A revolutionary liquid to powder foundation with up to 24 hours of wear, medium coverage, and a no transfer formula for a beautiful, healthy looking glow and luminous matte finish. Does it feel like it? You know, I didn't powder today, and I have to say, with the appropriate skincare, I guess it is kind of liquid to powder. Highlighted ingredients: argan oil, provides long-lasting comfort, maintains skin hydration for up to 24 hours, and gem tone, never heard of it, a self-adaptable shimmer that helps foundation to adjust to all skin tones. Oh, okay. A little gimmicky, I think. First ingredient is water. The second one is C2912 alkane. Don't know what that is. The third is alcohol. So alcohol this high up is usually in the formula to facilitate quick drying. It doesn't mean, however, just because it has a job that's useful, that it also couldn't be causing damage to your skin. There are a lot of people who say alcohol doesn't cause damage to the skin, it doesn't do anything to the barrier. I disagree. I think it's damaging to your barrier. That's my personal opinion. I did buy the House Labs anyway because I loved it so much, but I don't wear it very often. So that's a choice that you need to make for you. You don't care about alcohol? Go ahead. And then propanediol, a whole bunch of glycerin is pretty high up there. There are cocoa derivatives in here, and there's several oils, rapeseed oil. There's also camellia seed oil. And then there's a couple of things that are a little concerning. Fragrance is in the middle, but I have to say, this smells insanely good. It does. I want a perfume that smells like this. There is citric acid in here, just worth mentioning. I'm not sure how I feel about that. A little bit of mica, but it's way down at the bottom of the list. Tocopherol, very down low on the list. So there are some nice ingredients in here, and then there's an ingredient that I think is a little bit nasty. In my humble opinion, this is my favorite look, I think, because it was just one pump this time. And it's very dry right now, you guys. The last 2 days, crazy winds, so sucking all the moisture out of my face. Now, before we get into the wear test, in the first 2 days, I didn't read anything about it, so I was just working on it and looking at what I felt, what I saw, all that kind of stuff. Then on the 3rd day, today, I had looked this up, so I did know a little bit about it, and you should know that. You should also know what my skin type is, because if mine is different than yours, some of the things that I'm saying might not work for you, might not be applicable to you. I am 60 years old and my skin is on the dry side. I like a radiant finish. I don't mind this finish at all. It's not a flat matte. I don't like a flat matte, and mattes aren't really my thing, to tell you the truth. I prefer something that's a little more lifelike, but I do like this finish. Today's finish, super light, and I haven't powdered it, so that's very interesting. And I wear a lot of skincare. I'm not producing any more hyaluronic acid, elastin, collagen, ceramides, all the things that are in your skin that we produce less of as we get older. So I put a lot of that on my face. Today is a different day. I shaved last night, and the day that I shave, the night that I shave, and the next day, I really pull it back. So I just have 1 essence instead of 3 essences. So I'm lacking some hydration that I usually get. I'm not wearing my C today. I used a little bit less moisturizer than I usually wear today, but the first 2 days, my full-on regular skincare routine. And I think that's about it, you guys. Let's get into day 1. Day 1. I have had my skincare on for at least an hour and my sunscreen for half an hour, and everything is set. Shiny as always. It's my Isntree. I put 2 pumps here, and I'm going to pick it up with a BK Beauty brush. You see, I'm just trying to get it all over the brush. There's still plenty left, but all over the brush. This is scented, and I did receive this yesterday around 4 o'clock, and as I am wont to do, I couldn't wait, so I just put it on top of what I was wearing. I was wearing the Jane Iredale, which they say you can, use under foundation anyway, and no test at all, but worth noting that this is fragranced, but it's really a nice fragrance. I was sitting in the living room editing, and I thought, what's that smell? It's so gorgeous. It's my face. So not a bad shade for me. I would say, while it is neutral, they're calling it neutral, it seems a little bit warm, but not too much. I'm going to pull a little bit down the neck. So I don't know. I feel like when I'm looking in the monitor, the color might be a tad warm, and if I end up liking this, I might want to look at a cool color. And very easy to apply, and it has taken on the sheen of my face. Now, somebody had told me in the comments section that she got this and it oxidized and turned orange, so we're going to watch out for that. But as always, very quick application when you do it with this brush. And let's go on with some cream products. First, I also got this. People talk about this all the time. I don't know if it's this one, but I know the packaging is like this, and they say they love it, so I thought, well, I'll give that a try. Nice. Actually, I lied. Let's do a little concealer. I'm going on with the Tom Ford, and I like to do it with my finger, but you can pick it up with a brush as well, and see how these colors work. Not bad. So there's the concealer. Now, here's something that came out, I don't know, maybe a month ago. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Matte. And I wasn't going to do it, but I saw Tati use this color. And I think it was the combo of the color and her lip color. It was so fresh and pretty. I thought, I'm going to have to do it. Now, this is a pink color, but to me, this reads decidedly peach, right? Am I crazy? That's peach. But that's very Charlotte Tilbury, where she calls things pink, and you put them on, and then they turn very, very warm. And I don't even have it on. it's warm. I'm going to pick it up with this Rephr 37. And then I'll just do the edges. No problem at all. So this is the point where I do my eyes, so I let this set up before I go on with any powder products. And that's what we're going to do. Back in a flash. Okay, so I did the eyes and I just did powdering. I thought the camera was on, and it's not, but I just did the forehead right up here and around the nose, because I am doing another video right after this, and I'm going to be wearing my glasses. Now, almost nothing. I can't think of any foundation that really stays on, like a MAC Face and Body or Dior Face and Body. Those that are made to not be transfer proof, to put on your clothes and not ruin your clothes. Those will stay on. But going to have the glasses on and see how that works. But first, whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to get elsewhere. So I just did the center. And now I'm going to do a little powder bronze. I'm going to do the Jones Road in light bronze. Yeah, no problem. No pulling. Let's keep on going. Let's do a little bit of contour, powder contour. I've wiped this off and going in with the same, and I'm doing this Charlotte Tilbury, which I find this color right here is fantastic for contour. I am not angry about this. I'm just putting a little bit more on of this lip color because I kind of want it a little more pink. Super comfortable when you really load it on like that. Much more balmy. And yeah, that's gonna do it for day 1. And tomorrow I will let you know how it wears. But let's just do let me center up. And the sheen I think I'm seeing on the side of the face is because I didn't put a lot of powder. But isn't that interesting? Because this is a matte blush. I don't mind it. And the eye look is coming up. It is from Rituel de Fille. And they sent me a couple of things. You know what? I was a little bit afraid of this. I was afraid the color would be too warm. I was afraid that it would oxidize. But in my experience, when something oxidizes, it does it pretty soon. It'll do it in 15 or 20 minutes. All right, that's day 1, you guys. All right, you guys, so I don't know what time I finished that video. It was probably an hour ago, and I just finished something else, and I have been wearing my glasses the entire time. Okay, no, glasses rubbed off. So it's not 100% transfer proof, but nothing passes the glasses rub off test. And yeah, I mean, I've just been sitting here talking to the camera for an hour. I don't think it's changed color. Now, I did pull some down my neck, as you recall, but I don't think it's oxidized, so that's very important. We've all been there. If you saw my Gucci foundation video, you know what I'm talking about. And it's held on to the powder quite well. So sometimes when I powder my face, 20 minutes later, an hour later, the sheen comes back. I think it's held on quite well. Again, I didn't put a lot of powder on the sides of my face. I just did the cheeks because I don't like a shiny cheek, and the forehead, and then I just did the teeniest bit, what was left on my brush over here. So it's holding up well. Okay, on to day 2. Okay, there's day 1. I'm going to bring in some swatches right now before we get into day 2. And we're just going to compare to a couple of things that I already own so you can get a sense of what the color is. And keep in mind, even when I'm looking at it here, I'm looking at this mirror when I'm holding my arm up, and I felt like this was warmer than my Clé de Peau, but then when I looked in another room, I thought, no, the Clé de Peau was warmer. So light is everything. So let's just cut away to that. Okay, I've done a couple of swatches here, you guys. These are wet, but I want to give you an idea of what's going on. This one is the Clé de Peau Radiant Cream in B0. And I always felt it was a little too warm for me, though beautiful on the skin. This is the Guerlain Terracotta in 2N. This is the CQ in 115. A little bit light for me, but I feel that it's very, very neutral. This is the Charlotte Tilbury in 4N. It seems to have a little bit of an oliveness to it. And this one is the Givenchy Prism Libre in 3N250. And hopefully that'll give you a good idea of what these colors look like. And now let's cut away to day 2. I talk about what happened day 1. We do an application with the Beauty Blender, and let's go there. Welcome to day 2. So how did day 1 go yesterday? It went fine. I virtually did nothing physical at all. After I shot that, I shot the eyeshadow video, which you saw that look, and then I did my Saks Friends and Family video, which took an hour and a half, and then I edited that for about 6 hours, and then I did the links. All told, I did not wash my face until about midnight, and everything looked fine. I also wanted to say that I found that this responded so well to powder. With this one, after I powdered it, I got a true luminosity. So when I moved my head back and forth, you could see some light being reflected off of my forehead, but it wasn't a sharp, hard line, and you couldn't see all my pores. So it stayed that way all day long, as opposed to after a few minutes, the sheen came back from my sunscreen and my skincare. So that is very nice. We're going to do today with the Beauty Blender, as I just said. This is what it is. Gonna shake it up a little bit. I don't feel that this oxidized, but I do feel that this is a warm color. It's kind of a peachy yellow kind of color. So I spread it out flat on my hand, and I'm just going to put it on the Beauty Blender. Because I don't have much redness today, which is kind of astonishing, I'm going to go lighter. So some on, none on. With a light application like this, it's still a solid medium. It hasn't obliterated any color from my face, but it's toned down. It did seem to be transfer proof. I don't remember anything staining my clothes. I didn't do anything over my head, but the video I did with the sacks, this area was showing, and I put just a little bit right here, the teeniest bit, and it didn't get on that shirt. So, you know, I don't know if it's like MAC face and body, but this has potential to be a non-transfer kind of situation. And this is what it is. It's a light layer, but with a lot of product, which is, you know, that's what happens with beauty blenders. Very pretty. I mean, still there's some luminosity to it, but it's not bad, and it'll be fine once it's powdered. But I want to let this set on its own for a few minutes, and I think I'm going to break away and do another eyeshadow thing, and go on with a powder blush and other powder products without first powdering the face to see how it responds when I apply this way. So, back in a flash. Alright, so I was gone maybe 10 minutes, and it feels rather set. We're going to go in with a little bit of blush. I'm going a little warm. I probably shouldn't go warm because my eyes are a little cool, so we'll see how this works out. There's no dragging or pulling. It doesn't feel like bone dry, but it doesn't feel problematic. So if you manage to get a finish out of this that you like and don't want to powder, I don't think you're going to have a problem at all. So far my thoughts are this is much, 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 much better than the Gucci. For, I guess what sticks in my mind the most is the shade. While the Gucci looked very pretty, I couldn't get over the shade, where this shade seems much more workable for me. I do feel that I want to add some powder though. And the forehead, by the way, after I powdered it yesterday, it looks so beautiful all day long. See, there's still a bit of a luminous quality, but not a shine. While we're playing, while I'm here, I thought the reason I have this by Terry Pink powder is exactly when I have something too warm on, because it should cool it down. So let's just see. Let's just play a little bit, a little problem solving. Should have started with this instead of putting on 2 layers of powder, but do you see a difference? Is this helping the color at all? And also when you do something like this, you have to do the entire face. I think it did help. What do you think? Did this change it out a little bit? Help the warmth that was a little too warm? I do want to put a little pink on. I'm going in with the Valentino, just a touch. Let's just do a little lip. Let's go over it. Applying with the Beauty Blender. The coverage is still very, very nice. It's very fast, and I have no problem with that. I did use more product than I would want to, but that's kind of the nature of a Beauty Blender. I was able to put on my powder blush without any pulling or dragging, so that's wonderful. If you don't like to powder first, you won't have a problem with that. I don't have anything weird going on. I don't have anything in the crevices of the nose, but there she is, comfortable to wear, and you know what? I'm almost matte. I did do a lot of powder. I'm going to go in with the Clé de Peau Golden Galaxy, and I'm just going to do it with my fingers. All right, there's day 2. I'll be back in a flash with day 3. All right, you guys, I'm going to put on my makeup while I talk about yesterday and today. I'm going to do it with my fingers, and I've already put on my sunscreen, different sunscreen. Today I use the Can Make, and I can't see myself. A mirror would be super helpful. And I'm just going to do one pump and see what happens. So I thought yesterday with the Beauty Blender, very pretty, and I felt that even though I used 2 pumps, because it was a Beauty Blender, there was a little less product on my face, although I didn't really see a difference in my coverage. And the coverage, definitely. I'm kind of giving you my conclusions, I guess, at the same time. Like, coverage has been, the last 2 applications, a solid medium. Was not uncomfortable, and those are all good things. I didn't have any weird things going on in my face. It sets up really fast. So I had always planned actually on doing fingers, but I'm trying to get a more sheer look here because I'm trying to get to the farmer's market. And when a color is bad, sometimes you can get away with it more inside than outside. You really can see it's not working. I'm going to pull some down so everything's relatable. So I would say with this application, the coverage is a little bit less. It's not as full, but it's still darn good. I think I got an even blend. I took off the rest that was on my hand, so I'm just kind of in set when you use this little. So 1 pump all over the face with fingers. I think you might have a hard time doing that with a brush or Beauty Blender, but you could. But with fingers, 1, and the coverage is still, to me, it's a good medium, but I still see some redness, you know, so I would say I look at mediums like this: light medium coverage, and solid medium coverage. This is usually solid. The way I just applied it with 1 pump, medium. So let me just pull you in. I had a little bit of sheen, not too much sheen when I started. I'm going in again with this concealer. The luminosity is nice on my face. I think I'm not even going to powder today. I don't know if it's me, if I'm not drinking enough water right now, which I'm not quite drinking enough water. If it's the wind that's very, very dry right now. It's either wind or rain with us. I'm seeing some dry skin right here. It looks kind of raisiny, and I usually don't have that. For instance, I don't have it on this side. And I can't help but wonder, is it the alcohol in this? And I didn't notice it before, so it could be a little bit about the weather. Or it could be because I have less skincare on today. This is the Jones Road bronzer, and this is the shade Light Tan. I did take Grace on a long walk, an hour and a half maybe, although I didn't sweat, and it was very, very windy, and it held up nicely. I think long wear is not going to be an issue with this. Going on with another powder. This is powder blush. I just want to get kind of a natural look going on here, not too makeup-y. It does have a very nice luminosity. This is why 3 days are necessary, because I was thinking, I don't think I need 3 days on this. A different application, a different amount, it makes a difference. Probably my favorite look of the 3 days. I'm just going to finish my eyes and then conclusions. Okay, very quick eye, and I'm just taking a clean. This is the 103 from BK Beauty, because I always pick up a little too much of that bronzer. That Jones Road is more pigmented, I think, than what I'm used to, or I don't know what. Okay, I really enjoy this look the best, as I just said. I think it looks more natural And of course I went for a natural look because I don't want to look crazy. But I'm seeing some crazy ass dryness in this area, which I think it's possible that it's weather related. But as far as weirdness, incongruities on the skin gathering up and weird stuff happening, no, there's none. Comfortable to wear, absolutely wears for a long time. Transfer proof, I didn't do a white shirt test, but I would say it's not transfer proof in the same way that Dior or MAC Face and Body are, where those are really made to not rub off, but it's very solid in the transfer proof area. And then here's my final look. I think for me personally, if this is something I'm going to do, I would want to get another color. It's hard for me to kind of overcome the color thing, but not bad at all. So I guess that's going to wrap it up, you guys. It's really, I'm going to just be presenting the facts for you so you can decide if it's something that you want. Do you want something that's a luminous matte? Do you want something that the coverage can be medium to solid medium? Do you want something that says it's very good for texture? I don't really have texture, so I can't say. If you are okay with something that has alcohol so high up, alcohol in a formula that high up, is usually to help the dry down, and usually I don't like it, but make an exception for house slabs. I make an exception once in a while when I just fall in love with something. And I'm kind of uncertain. I'm going to try to get a couple more shades and play with it a little bit. And you guys, that's it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.